Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Jessica Clemons, and we're going back to school, baby. That probably triggered a lot of adults. It definitely triggered me. Gen V returns for the first 3 episodes of the season 2, premiering on September 17th, and the additional episodes dropping weekly on Wednesdays through October 22nd. Ooh, baby, I love this. This is gonna be my best month, per Amazon's description. As the rest of America adjusts to Homelander's iron fist, back at Godolkin University, the mysterious new dean preaches a curriculum that promises to make students more powerful than ever. Cate and Sam are celebrated heroes, while Marie, Jordan, and Emma reluctantly return to the college burdened by months of trauma and loss. But parties and classes are hard to care about when there's a war brewing between humans and supes, both on and off campus. The gang learns of a secret program that goes back to the founding of Godolkin University that may have larger implications than they realize, and somehow Marie is a part of it. Oh brother, this guy rules! So let's get into this trailer breakdown and talk about Gen V Season 2. But first, before we get into this video, make sure you check out nerdriot.shop where you can find the latest and greatest in New Rockstars merch. We have so much Fantastic Four merch. The Fantastic Car is doing great. I know you guys want to put this on your back because Fantastic Four, it's next month, baby. We're already in June, remember that. Also, Jurassic World is coming out and we have merch for that too. And these are my favorite shirts in the universe. I'm obsessed with these shirts. I'm gonna wear them every day. Okay, now let's get into it. The trailer begins in Dean Shetty's former office, now occupied by the new dean, played by Hamish Linklater from Midnight Mass. He is the newly appointed dean of Godolkin University, and as we recall, Dean Shetty passed away last season after revealing her intention to create a virus that would eliminate all supes. Vought tweeted in April how All God U coursework has been approved by Dean Cipher, and President Calhoun and Vought International really does believe they're working in tandem with the new dean. Denmon also reported his role as a trained scientist. He's politically brilliant and has the trust and admiration of officials at the highest level. And at this moment in the trailer, I believe his power is to read minds, to which he responds to Marie like this.
You're an eye twitch away from leaping across this table and ripping my throat out with your teeth.
He's not really assuming, he's actually just stating a fact, and she looks at him, lowering her brow a bit, confused at how he knows this. It's not uncommon for the names for supes to be connected to their powers or themes. For example, Stormfront represents lightning, Lamplighter has fire, A-Train is known for his speed, and Starlight brings light. A cipher is an algorithm or system used to encrypt information, transforming readable data into unreadable data using a secret key, and I believe he is the key capable of transcribing and utilizing the powers of supes. For humans, he can essentially just meet any need, and while Sister Sage is considered the most smartest woman on the planet, we must remember that she has to learn much of what she knows. In contrast, I think he may have the innate ability to surmise things effectively, giving him an advantage in both worlds, as a normal human and as a supe. Ultimately, I don't think he should be trusted, but I also don't think he's on anyone's side but his own. The teaser then takes us to Elmira Adult Rehabilitation Center, and we first got a glimpse of this location in Season 1, Episode 1, when Marie watches a young girl being forcibly taken from the Red River Institute to the Elmira Adult Rehabilitation Center. You can see it on the name of the van. I assume this is also where the group was being held at the end of the finale. As you remember, the season ended with the team being arrested and basically labeled terrorist at God U, while Sam and Cate, as we've seen, are thriving, even in the boys. What I assume is the same van will be barreling through the gates at the end of the teaser, so don't expect them to be locked up for too long. We then cut to Jordan in an orange jumpsuit, stressed the out. This shot cuts so smoothly, you probably just didn't recognize that they switched. We'll later see another angle where Jordan's panicking with one single bloody nose. I don't know if this is the moment Andre dies within the facility that I'm suspecting will happen, but what I think is telling is how Jordan has just one nosebleed. They could be using this high frequency to mess with them in custody, causing their brains to strain or exert too much. We'll also get into Andre's passing a little later in the video when it comes up. It appears that they have been detained, abused, and tortured in this facility. Whether you consider it a prison or what Vought refers to as a generous holding facility is really up to you. For me, there's a prison. From the brief glimpses of Dean Cipher, we still don't understand his connection to this situation. However, I do believe he is the one who orchestrates their release and their reinstatement into God U for his own purposes. And God U, Calhoun, and everyone else trusts his decisions because he's politically brilliant and has the trusted admiration of officials at the highest level. Additionally, the detainees are wearing inhibitor collars, similar to the ones that you see in X-Men or in the Deadpool movie, which is, don't lock up my babies. We then see bite-sized Emma, and by the size of these holes, I assume she shrunk again. As we know, she has to go through a horrible, detrimental purge to shrink. However, in the finale, she learned to shrink without purging. It's more tied to her emotions. So this trauma of being locked up, she's probably just naturally changing. We see them being transported through the van with Jordan and Emma. To everyone's surprise, we see Cate gleefully awaiting them. So last time we saw Cate, we knew she was on the boys supporting Homelander and Vought with her arm back, though in this trailer, it looks like our girl's playing a different game. I don't think she's on Team Homelander. Additionally, Marie's not with them. This is our first indicator, to me at least, that Cipher struck a deal with the Four's return to God U, and Emma and Jordan took that deal, Andre died, and Marie ran away because who would want to return to that trauma? This is why we see her in the hotel, tracked by Dogknott, outside Vought Fresh Farms, and other out-of-place settings. Back Back at God U, there are literal banners for Make America Super Again, so despite the town hall last season, the fight for positive change, and all those hard efforts, they just haven't succeeded, and we knew this from the finale of The Boys. Newman died, and Robert Singer was taken into custody, and they're invoking the 25th moving Calhoun to president who pledged his allegiance to Homelander, his first official act, declaring martial law and deputizing hundreds of superheroes nationwide who report to Homelander. We've lost the plot. We are losing people. But what's really interesting is they're now labeling God U's Guardians of Godolkin as Cate, Sam, Emma, and Jordan, yet no Marie and no Andre. So in some way, they're switching up the narrative again. From the finale of Gen V, we saw Cameron Coleman covering the story on Vought News Network detailing the brutal murder spree Emma, Marie, Andre, and Jordan went on that was stopped by the new Guardians of God U, Cate and Sam. We don't officially know what made them change their minds or this narrative, but I assume it was Dean Cipher. I know that I have it out for him, but I truly think he is behind a lot of things. And also, the Guardians of Godolkin, as you might have forgot, has become a series as well. So I guess, Emma and Jordan can join a TV series if they want. We see people required to wear human ID badges before entering the campus, and there are separate entrances with different security measures. It's actually really shocking to witness them going through these metal detectors, and beyond are like a barbed wire fence while students are just going about their everyday lives. We know that The Boys and Gen V take satirical approaches to our everyday political battles here in America. Still, it's specifically the push for like soup supremacy, kind of like white supremacy and anti-immigration, where non-powered people are the equivalent of minorities. There you go for people watching that aren't in America. In Cipher's speech, we actually hear him say, "What runs through our veins is true Vought blue," which is really a funny thing to say when Compound V, the drug that they gave all of these kids, is also blue. Sam arrives outside this house, which I assume is his home. As we remember, he has like a version of his brother that he does talk to subconsciously, and if Cate restored his ability to feel, he might be returning home to find some sort of peace with Golden Boy. Alternatively, if his powers are like fading away, he could be searching for atonement, trying to recover those like lost memories and feelings he had when his brother was alive. We then get a very loving and sad photo of Andre, his dad Anderson, aka Polarity, and his mom Layla, who we know died. We didn't really see her die. Polarity just mentioned it in a conversation in episode 2. Following Chance Perdomo's sudden passing in March 2024, Amazon confirmed the role would not be recast and planned to include and adjust his role in the storyline. So Andre didn't survive after being taken into custody, but we don't know yet at what time or where he perished. The digital image glitches as Polarity comes to terms with the fact that he is the last surviving member of his family. And unfortunately, his last few conversations with Andre, they weren't particularly supportive, and these glitches are connected to Polarity's magnetic powers, which were similar during his interview with Cameron Coleman in episode 7. However, due to his deteriorating health caused by these powers, the glitches have become irregular and unstable, leading to seizures. Tragically, Andre faced a similar prognosis, suffering from brain lesions as a result of using his powers, which may be a factor in his sudden passing. Polarity now wants to burn down the entire school, confronting the battle he feared before his son passed away. He's getting his redemption arc, baby, and I kind of really like it. I really appreciate this character shift, and I like him just stepping up and stepping in. He has nothing to lose, and since he's also dying, he's determined to fight for what's right. However, as we know, this often follows the typical pattern that leads to the bee soup's death, so I wouldn't expect him to stay. I've got a cat. Her name is Cat Dennings, and she's a monster. I love her to death, but what a nightmare. She's the pickiest eater on the planet, but a few weeks ago, I started feeding her Smalls, and I'll never go back. Smalls was started back in 2017 by a couple of guys home cooking cat food in small batches for their friends. A few short years later, they've served millions of meals to cats across the US. Smalls is made with preservative-free ingredients you'd find in your fridge, and it's delivered right to your door. That's why Cats.com named Smalls their best overall cat food. And yeah, I used to just feed my cat kibble, but when was the last time you really looked at that ingredient list? So many cat food brands fill their food with mysterious meat byproducts, artificial flavoring, and preservatives with names I just can't pronounce, so it's basically just junk food. That's probably why after switching to Smalls, 88% of cat owners reported overall health improvements. The team at Smalls is so confident your cat will love their product that you can try it risk-free. If your cat won't eat their food, you'll get a refund. For a limited time only, you can get 35% off Smalls plus any additional 50% off your first order by using code NEWROCKSTARS. That's an additional 50% off when you head to smalls.com and use promo code NEWROCKSTARS. Again, the promo code NEWROCKSTARS for an additional 50% off your first order plus free shipping at smalls.com. Then we see tiny Emma with a doll-sized backpack entering a pipe, and I see a bunch of you commenting on the CGI and the effects, the green screen of this. This is The Boys. The Boys has always been like this. When Emma shrinks down in the first season and does the dirty deed, yeah, it looks like this. Dean Cipher takes the group to this kind of underground fight club with heavy immovable doors. According to the show's Amazon description, the gang discovers a secret program that dates back to the founding of Godolkin University, which may have larger implications than they realize. And I suspect this is the secret program, or at least these individuals will be connected to. And I think by adding that to the description, it's clear that Gen V is setting the stage for a larger spin-off series in the future. This upcoming series will be a prequel to The Boys, featuring Soldier Boy and Stormfront, and it will explore the origins of Vought in the 1950s. If this secret program began during the founding of Godolkin University in the 1960s, we might see its conception in the prequel series and why this program's messed up. There are a lot of kids here we haven't met yet. In Gen V Season 2, they're bringing on a lot of new cast members. Kia King, Stephen Kalin, Julia Nope, Stacey McGonigal, who we see later in the trailer, Tate Fletcher, Wyatt Dorian, and Georgie Murphy are 7 of them. Tate Fletcher is the swollen man right here. Some think this could be Vicar from the comics. He was a Viking-inspired suit. And in this disgusting, weird kind of scene to me, they have Marie like a wrestler stepping out for the ring. The signs read Team Bloodbender, Bloodbender, and Love Marie, which is like, is that her soup name? Is Bloodbender? My God. Who's that in Avatar that does the water bending again? Yeah, Katara. Is it Katara? She can bloodbend. Fucking filthy. Gross, dude. That's crazy as hell. That's crazy work. And to call her Bloodbender, that soup name makes sense. It's just disgusting to me. Her outfit is red, like blood. She's fully stepping into this gimmick. As she crosses the ring, the dim red light suggests that the odds are already in her favor. And I noticed there's a lot of scenes. For Jordan Lee, the character, we focus more on Derek and less on London in this teaser trailer. But it's important to remember that Jordan prefers their different forms for various defenses. And this form is more suitable for defense and absorbing hits. In a real fight with Marie, they would likely opt for their other form. However, they're also understandably very scared right now. Jordan is wearing Vought International clothes, and based on that and their scared shitless face, I don't think they were meant to fight Marie. I think from Marie's expression, she knew she was set up to fight Jordan, though I still think this fight is staged in Jordan's favor thanks to Marie being the one it came down to. We see another scene from this sequence at the end of the trailer where Marie is bleeding from the corner of her mouth, so I assume even if this is an act, Jordan gets one good licking. The arena is branded for God U, and the outer edges you see are sponsored by Patriot Cow, which might be a new one. I assume this is just for Vought Fresh Farms, where Firecracker gushed about their pure white cow milk. And also we see Turbo Rush, which is A-Train's energy drink. We're then in this dorm room and we see the classic Vought A Burger. A couple great band posters are also to the left. The block one is for Rex Orange County, and so is the orange cassette for Lovin' Is Easy. I love that song. We also see the Cure poster for their tour is below that, and these 4 men, they look like 98 Degrees, or maybe it's a poster for Matchbox 20. Honestly, it could go both ways and I don't really care.
I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is.
Sam then smashes through the wall, fighting who I think is Jordan, and they always be fighting all the time since last season. Then we see Jordan punch Cate in the face, and this is backstage of the Dean Cipher speech where we see Jordan, Emma, Cate, and Sam as the Guardians of Godolkin. I assume Cate being punched is because if they got a deal to get out of that prison, yet forced to still befriend Cate and Sam, yeah, I'm gonna come out swinging too. Then we catch a glimpse of Firecracker, who may or may not play a huge role this season, but she still did take over after Cameron Coleman's death, and with her own show, The Truth Bomb. This is when we meet newcomer Stacey McGonigal. Buy her God U earrings. I assume she's kind of like a publicist. I will say we've got to keep in mind that Ashley, as we know it, is probably MIA since taking the new drug, so they'll need a new like Ashley adjacent publicist for God U, and this may be it. Then we see Emma being hurled in luau clothes into a beer pong cup. In the background you can actually see the Deep's Rising Tide poster. Next we see a series of quick snippets featuring Cate in black clothing as she infiltrates various places, seemingly trying to atone for her past actions. A yellow spray painted resist decorates over Homelander's poster, and the yellow symbolizes Starlight supporters. This kind of mirrors the poster they released for season 2 in Marie's blood spelling out resist. This, in my opinion, suggests that we might see Marie in the final season of The Boys, possibly assisting Starlight or at least working to stop Homelander. The show draws clear parallels between the 2 characters as leaders in the fight against Vought, indicating to me, again, they will likely share the same mission in the upcoming season. The upcoming season and final season. The people around the sign are also really interesting in the scene because I don't think they're necessarily knocked out. This woman is on her phone. I think this is just on campus and people have expressed their disinterest in Homelander and how America's going, so they spray painted resist on it. We're gonna see a lot of Starlighters still out there in the show. This man diving on Marie is Dogknott, played by Zach McGowan, who you might remember from The Boys. He was the one that was rejected from the 7. He basically is a dog. He's like Beast meets Aquaman in a way, and the rumor is that he banged a dog.
I thought he ate a dog.
He ate out a dog.
It's a big difference.
I don't think we're supposed to like him. Also, I don't really want to like him. He'll unfortunately probably be one of the mini soups enlisted by Homelander and Calhoun. He's fighting Marie here, but then we immediately cut to her getting thrown into a mirror, and I think this comes after the dive because in the last shot, you can see the broken glass on the ground. We can also assume from this scene that Marie absolutely did run away, refused to re-enroll, and was hunted down and dragged back. Remember, she has no family, she has no home. Where else would she go? Then we cut to Marie fighting a group of men, and we see the pickup truck with a ton of stickers in the background, and this building has like fresh fresh produce on it. Based on the very blurry blue and green sign to the back right, I assume this is Vought Fresh Farms. Now, I don't think anything ultimately like nefarious is going on here, but as you can see in the background, there's some Starlight supporters. So they could simply just be protesting outside all Vought facilities, and in this moment, Marie was faced with Homelander supporters to fight with. She then uses her ability to grab the truck nuts from under the vehicle and hit them with it, and look, maybe we're back. Maybe we're back. My girl's back. We see Polarity's powers and deterioration growing as he pulls all the metal things around him into his own orbit. Polarity is then speaking with Cipher, asking what happened to his son, to which he says, "You have no idea what you're dealing with." So clearly it seems as though Andre did die in the facility, because why else would Cipher sort of like warn Polarity about what he's about to uncover? However, at this later scene, we see Polarity using his powers to blow back Cipher, and I think this is actually the moment he finds out his son died. I assume they just don't tell him, or they don't disclose how, but he sees the other three freed and wonders, where's my son? We see touching moments between Jordan and Marie, so their love, I hope, is still there. Oh, they want to separate these babies so bad. The plot wants to tear them apart. We then see the Elmira van barreling through these gates, which I think is actually linked to the scene with Cate in the break-in clothes and the guards chasing her down. I find it a bit weird for us to support Team Cate since she initially, hid the woods from Andre and everyone else, but I assume she did this because she just didn't want him to be experimented on. While she may not be entirely justified in her actions, she is doing the best she can with the circumstances she has. This season, I can see her trying to do the right thing again within her limits. It seems as though, to me, she's acting kind of like a double agent. We get a shot of the Deep looking ominous, and I'll be honest, guys, I mean, the Deep is never doing things that are morally good, so I assume this is a weird god you hazing ritual, and this is maybe like their Greek life, seeing as the boys on the sides are all in like white shirts or like polo collared shirts, and he's donning a weird creepy hazing cloak. And he's an alumni, so yeah, he's a freakazoid. We see what I believe is an animal being exploded. This may be one of the Vought V'd up animals that we saw on the boys last season. It doesn't look 100% good, it does not look like a healthy animal, and seeing as though it's levitating, that's why I assumed it was one of the V'd up animals. Now, I think the trailer wants us to believe that Marie is making this animal explode, but I actually think it's Dean Cipher. It looks like there could be something in his right hand. I was looking so closely at the screen, it could be like a little detonator, but regardless, if he does have the ability to use other people's powers, he could have figured out how to use Marie's to surprise her. From the conversation between Marie and Newman last season, I assume Marie doesn't fully grasp the wide spectrum of her abilities. However, Cipher's powers and ability to act as a real Cipher may be instantly proficient with it. We also see Marie in Jordan's jacket here saying sophomore year is gonna be lit, and at the bottom you can see the comments that say, "Hail our vindicated queen," and they're talking about her innocence. She's following in the same social media rise as Starlight, and this is why I want to see her in the finale. I want to see her at the end of The Boys. And that's it for my breakdown on the teaser trailer for Gen V Season 2 coming to Amazon September 17th. We're back in session, and you guys, this was a teaser trailer. In what world is the real trailer gonna be like 10 minutes? Gimme. Comment down below your thoughts on Gen V Season 2, and a special thanks to one of our YouTube members, Pengwin, who supports us at the executive producer level. Follow me at Lulu_Clemons, subscribe to all 4 channels of the new Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in school.